On today's episode of Pacman Presents, I've got a very special guest with me today. Please welcome Irit, who is the CEO and the Chief Customer Officer for CSM Practice. So for all of you who don't know, CSM Practice, they offer high-quality customer service strategy design services for executives who wish to scale their customer success operations while producing tangible business results, and they aim to serve customer success teams from all over the world. Thank you so much for joining us today, Irit. It's an honor to have you here on our show.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to share everything behind the scenes of how our firm operates and connects with the audience online.
Awesome. We're so honored to have you here. So for all of our listeners out there, tell us, what does CSM Practice do?
The CSM Practice is one of the first consulting firms that is totally dedicated to customer success strategies. We've been at the very front of the customer success movement that sort of started in 2013 to really shape up what the strategies, the tactics, and the methodologies should be. Mainly, it started with SaaS companies, and very quickly all the other technology companies joined the movement, and you see a lot of businesses now embrace it. In fact, consulting firms have customer success people, hardware and software companies have customer success teams. Gosh, I have a friend who's in a travel agency, and she has customer success teams. So it really blew up, and I was very fortunate to be one of the in the leading aspects of this movement and shape up a lot of the strategies and processes. And the company set up to help companies that want to embrace customer success strategies to just do it a lot better.
Awesome. No, that's incredible. Especially what you guys have been able to do and, keep up with the trend from as you mentioned, 2013 all the way till now. So who are your clients then? Do you focus on certain sectors, or do you cater to all types of industries?
So I would say for the most part, if I had to look back in the last 3 years, it was mostly software companies or technology companies, meaning like a mix of service of technology or technology companies. Like we had a company that sold light fixtures, but they also had a warranty because they would feed all the data to a database and they can analyze it so that the building can optimize consumption of electricity through the use of those lights. And so anything like that is typically coming our way. That said, we started also working with resellers of technology as well. So it expands, but it definitely orbits around anything related to technology for some reason.
Yeah, I could tell, but I think that's great though, because technology, we're always going to need it, and it's going to keep growing and growing. So that's great. So with your clients, how do they typically find you? What is your top client acquisition channel?
If I had to guess, I would say that it's mostly through our content. We don't have any outbound. We don't do any cold calling. We don't reach out to anybody. They typically either hear about us from others that had been clients of ours, or they, stumble upon our content. We have blogs, YouTube channel, and personally myself, I would say I'm in either podcasts or conferences or any kind of live online events at least once a month. And so that sort of helps create a canvas to have people that connect with our content and connect with our methodology, and they feel like they need help to come and reach out.
No, that's awesome. And especially too with your background and with being a major key player within the customer success strategy realm for so many years. You've been able to see the trends and the forecasting and being able to be help within the industry and show them, these are things that we need to pay attention to, or things that we need to keep an eye out even before they happen.
Absolutely. Like the one thing that people reach out to consultant or to a business coach is because they don't want to make a lot of mistakes, or they have a very complex business model, and you can read all the blogs in the world, but it still doesn't give you the exact answer of what you need to do. And so when you and I have a medical issue, like a severe one, we actually go to an expert. And I think these businesses are the same. If they have a complex business model, or they have an urgent issue, yeah, maybe they can hire someone, but that someone might have worked with two or three other companies in a customer success role, maybe. When they hire somebody like myself or my firm, they actually get, 10 years of experience. And every year we work with about 10 different accounts or 10 different companies. And so the breadth of expertise and experience is surmountable.
Yeah, it is. And especially, with your company, you guys have been a major key player in your industry. And, with all of the trade shows you have gone to and the podcast you've appeared on, I've looked at, like the work you guys have done at CSM Practice, and you guys are really strong and a great
Thank you
company.
so much.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
absolutely. So now we're going to switch gears. We're going to talk about the website. So what would you say are the major strengths of CSM Practice?
In general, or for the website itself?
For the website.
Yeah, I thought that's what you meant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that we're experts on websites, but what I was trying to make sure that the website has is the right content for the community. I mean, granted, one of my chief goals was not just to help my own paying clients to get better at customer success, but actually impact the community. Because, when I started back in 2014 as a consultant, there's like very few companies that actually opted into customer success. And it was very clear at that time for those who were in the trenches of pushing the awareness to what is customer success to the rest of the business community, that we need to educate the community. And so if you look at the website, it's well structured around different aspects related to customer success, whether it's blogs, templates that they can download, infographics for quick consumption. I think the only thing that I don't have there necessarily is a dedicated section for our YouTube videos. But I mean, even then, sometimes we embed that in some of our blogs, because I literally think that the best thing that we can do for the community is really help as many companies as we can to just embrace those strategies ASAP, whether they are paying us to help them or not.
Yeah, definitely. I love how you summed it up for me as well, being there for the community and helping them with what they need.
Exactly. And I think, at the end of the day, what you put out there is what you're going to get. And I think that in general, people and companies that are thinking about adding value to the community, adding value to their clients, are going to stay ahead of the game. I always believe that it's almost always about what you can give rather than what you want to get that gets you ahead. And I think it's the right mindset in life in general. And so I think that our website does reflect that. I hope.
No, it does. Definitely. You can tell. And you see it too when I was like looking through it, reading up about you guys. Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
So now we're going to talk about you as a leader. So with being, the CEO of CSM Practice, how does a normal day look like for you?
Oh gosh, is there a normal day? I'd say like I gave up on the normal day, but I do think that it's important as an executive, as a leader, to exercise what we call scheduling buckets. So it used to be that I would let my clients, the vendors I work with, the partners, the community to take control over my life. And essentially, I would have like my entire calendar open anytime between 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. And I would meet with people whenever they would like to meet. And then what I discovered is that if I just gave I have not just one an executive assistant, I actually have multiple ones. It's a different podcast, but each one is specializing on different things. And we have a space on Google that's called Managing Irit's calendar. So that's like the number one thing for me to be productive during the day. And
Mhm.
so Mondays, they have a block of time between 8 to 1 p.m. where they can block time with vendors, partners. Like, let's say you wanted to have a prep call with me before the podcast, you would probably meet with me on Mondays. Tuesday are dedicated to client calls, as well as Thursdays and Friday. Wednesdays when I do my podcast. What day is it today?
It's
It's
Wednesday.
Wednesday. And so my days are very clear as what the focus is. I'm on when I need to be on. Like today, I'm recording 4 different podcast episodes. It's very clear. I'm very focused. I prepared yesterday for today. And so, like I feel like since I've done that, first of all, most of my meetings ends around 1 p.m., which is a luxury for a CEO in general. I no longer have all the emails that are sent to clients or vendors copying me because my inbox gets really big otherwise. That's why I hired very talented, mostly women, by the way, not only, but mostly women. I love working with women. I think they're like amazing. Like we have such a great vibe. And like my day is so much more productive since I started doing that. And so that's like one of the newest things I've done in the last 2, 3 months, and it's been working great.
That's awesome. And I'm glad, you have found this is what works for me. And this is how we're going to do moving forward. And I love that you're surrounded and you have a team of, women who, you all help each other, you get it done. And, that's great. That's the
Yeah,
best.
we support each other. Most of these women are a little younger than me, but it feels like my girls were just babies a sneeze ago, even though they're in college. But when my women in my team and men, when they have issues with the babies or the young kids are sick, you have a lot of empathy for that. And I think that this is the kind of culture that we have in our firm, is that we're people first, we have our families and we support each other. And then also we want to get a lot of things done and we want to impact the community. We want to have meaningful life that's like worthy living. And it's exciting. It's exciting to do that with a strong team.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. So we're coming to the end of our interview now, and I'm going to ask you some rapid fire questions. Are you ready?
Never, but go ahead.
So if you could snap your fingers and get a task that you have to do often done for you, which one would that be?
Read my inbox.
In your inbox. With how many emails you get? Yes.
Way too many, way too many. I'm dreaming about the day where I can hire somebody that can go through all my emails and say, Irit, here are the 5 that you need to read. And the rest goes to some folder or they answer it themselves.
I will love that. I'm hoping that there will be an AI tool for this, to where you can have it automated and set up for you to where it's like, answer these emails for me in this order.
Yes, I think it's coming. It's coming. Give it a year or two.
Yeah, there you go. Give it a year or two. Now, what is one piece of advice that you would give yourself if you could go back to your first day at this company?
Yeah, I would say, like, it's okay to fail. It's okay. You're not gonna be successful in everything that you try to do. But just know that this is coming and just enjoy every learning curve that this brings about and just be okay with it. It's not going to be fast, it's going to be slow, and just enjoy the journey. It sounds like a cliche, but girl, like I had so many turns, rights and left, and felt insulted, by like colleagues and partners, and had things done and invested tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars in that didn't work. And at the end of the day, I think so long as I keep on being persistent is the most important thing. The one thing I teach my girls is that slow and steady wins the race.
Oh, it does. My mom told me the same thing. It does.
Yeah, just be a turtle. It's totally fine. Just like at the end of the day, if you have a vision and you keep pursuing it, it might not be, you think it's going to be like red and big and it ends up being blue and a triangle and it's totally fine, but you'll still like get some sort of a very cool thing created, and you're going to be proud of yourself for being persistent. So I think that's kind of like the story of my life. Half lucky, half persistent, always cheerful.
I love it. I absolutely love that. So we're at the end of our interview today, and I want to thank you so much for taking time to join us on Pathmonk Presents. But I also want to give you the last word.
Yeah.
If anyone were to forget about everything we've talked about in this interview today, what is the one thing you want them to remember about CSM practice overall?
Well, I think that if anybody here has clients, they're a B2B business, and they're struggling with getting their clients engaged or getting to prove value or maximize value for their clients, or just getting the wallet share they want out of their client base and they feel like they need help, go to CSM Practice. We have a library of resources. You can also reach out to me directly by filling out a contact form or on LinkedIn and say, hey, I need some help, and we'd love to help you if we can.
Awesome. See, well, thank you so much for joining us today. And for our listeners, anything client success related, you know where to find them at CSM Practice. And for all of our listeners, check us out next week on Pathmonk Presents.